Hello and welcome to Methuen Now for September 2024. I'm your host, Michelle Houle. This month we're paying a special tribute to Mayor Neil Perry, who passed away on September 21st. First inaugurated in January of 2020, Mayor Perry had taken on a city that was under close scrutiny of the Massachusetts government and media alike for a number of issues. But he began with plans already in place.
Methuen is a very different place than it was in 1979 when I started my first job as a bilingual teacher at the Corliss School. I walked into that classroom with limitless energy, enthusiasm, and hope for myself and for my students. It may sound corny, but I loved Methuen then, and I love Methuen today. Come with me. Let's work together. Let's respect one another, and let's be honest with one another. Most importantly, let's make every person proud to call Methuen home. Thank you very, very much. I'm thrilled to be your mayor.
When taking the oath of office, Mayor Perry had no way of knowing that in just 3 short months, he would be leading a city full of fear and uncertainty. March of 2020 brought the world to its knees, and Methuen was not immune. Mayor Perry jumped into action immediately and tried to keep the city running as close to usual as possible while still implementing new ideas to battle COVID fatigue.
Hello and good afternoon and welcome to Mayor Minutes here at MCTV, our first attempt at using live technology. And we're going to talk a lot today about coronavirus. We're going to try to do this as frequently as possible during the COVID-19 crisis to give you as much information as we humanly can and keep you abreast of what's happening in the city.
Mayor Perry also inherited a $4 million deficit due to earlier issues in the school system. Not only was that able to be paid off ahead of schedule, but Methuen found itself in the best fiscal shape in years. Final decisions from the Massachusetts courts made it possible to bring in a new police chief and revamp the running of the department. A full list of Mayor Perry's accomplishments would be lengthy, covering everyone and everything in Methuen, from dog parks to contactless food deliveries during the pandemic. His latest accomplishment was coordinating a sale between the Presentation of Mary Sisters and the city of Methuen to save the Searles estate. The successful bid will keep Methuen history intact while allowing for future growth in a beautiful setting. Mayor Perry was also an avid sports fan and shared that passion with Council Chair Joel Ferretra, who had a few words to say about his friend.
I just want to take a moment to pass on my condolences to Neil's family and friends at this most difficult time. He was a great mayor, but even a better person. I'm going to miss those texts during the football games at night complaining about the refs just as I made those calls. So rest easy, my friend. We'll take care of the city for you.
Taking care of the city was always forefront in Mayor Perry's mind. Those efforts found him friends in all parts of the city. Mourners were offered the opportunity to pay their respects during calling hours at Methuen Memorial Music Hall.
Mayor Perry was just an awesome person. He gave his heart and soul to Methuen. I remember the first time I met him, I was campaigning. We had an event, one of the after-school programs that he was so fond of. And, you know, we had a lot of the students in, and you could just tell the way he was interacting with the young people. Such a real, authentic, and caring person.
I had personally had the opportunity to work with Mayor Perry on our youth center project that we were still working on getting across the finish line. He had advocated for the project during his last days on the school committee for its final passage. Very grateful to him for all of his work on that. I know he was really proud of the acquisition of the Searles estate, and we are all here to mourn the loss together, to share in condolences with each other, also to support the family, to support Methuen City Hall's team and his staff who's here today, and of course his family who were coming in to support here at the music hall. So tremendous loss for the city of Methuen, but wonderful to see the community coming together to pay respects to our beloved mayor.
No matter how he was feeling, his passion for the city was always shown. There was one thing that he would always say, show Methuen the money. There was once that there was a meeting where I wasn't expecting him to be there, and I wasn't there. And I asked my team, well, okay, the mayor was there. So what did he say? Like, do you have notes? He said one thing, show Methuen the money. And I'm like, okay. But he's somebody who always had so much energy for what he did. You could tell that he loved it, he had fun with it, and that he cared deeply for the work and trying to improve his home.
First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to say a few words and how great he was, not only for Methuen, also for the people from outside. He's going to be truly missed.
Well, I don't want to bring politics into this, but I met Neil when I launched my campaign for Clerk of Courts, and the honesty and the motivation and him telling me, don't be the nice guy singer, you got to toughen up now, you're in a different world. But the past couple of years, getting to know him and getting to know him on a personal level, I think this is what continues to drive me, is that there's people like him in politics, and that it's about community, it's about people, and that's the side that he shows. I'm going to say he shows, because I think it's going to continue to live on, even though he's not going to be with us. It was very special to me, and like I said, I didn't have enough time with him.
My thoughts and prayers are for his family, his children especially. I know this might be overwhelming for them, but thank you for sharing your dad with us. And he was a great man of honor, and we're all going to miss him.
Mayor Perry did wonderful things during his tenure, and I had said to a group of people before that Methuen is going to benefit from his tenure for many years to come. We're going to be feeling his handprint on our backs in a positive way, and it truly is a sad day for Methuen, the whole city, and especially the Perry family.
He was a great man, good for my husband. He was very good to us with the addiction, helping us out tremendously, and we are going to miss him. God bless his children and family.
So we at the Nevins Library would just like to remember Neil Perry as a wonderful mayor, a staunch supporter of the library and all of the work that we do, and an unwavering champion for the city of Methuen. He will be greatly missed and leaves a great hole. We miss you. Thank you so much for everything you've done.
He was a good mayor. We all know that. We all knew that he cared so much for our city and everything he did. He lived to be the mayor. He lived to make all the good decisions for the city. So he's going to truly be missed.
I drove the mayor in a few parades, and I knew him when he worked at Raytheon, and he's been one of the best mayors we have ever had in Methuen. He cares for the people. This was the best job he ever had.
I believe that Neil Perry was a savior that was sent to save this city, and he did. He led it with grace, he led it with integrity, and he led it with honor. And there aren't many men like that in the world anymore. So we've truly lost a blessing, a real blessing. And it really comes from my heart.
We grew up together, and with his older brother, and I know that we were raised with parents who taught us right from wrong, and he took it to the heights. He just really embodies what all of our parents want us to be, and we're very lucky to have had him for as long as we have. We're going to miss him.
He was 35 years in the private sector working for Raytheon. Did very well for himself, and could have just walked off into the sunset and enjoyed the last several years of his life. Instead, he took on an immense challenge to lead the city as the city's mayor when he didn't really need to. If that weren't enough, the people closest to him, I think, understood that he probably wouldn't make it through his last term. But he ran anyways, because he hoped to finish what he had started, and he finished so much. I look at all of his accomplishments in the time that he was with us, and to think that two of his crowning achievements actually happened in the last 30 days of his life. Imagine that. He saved the hospital and saved the purchase of the Searles estate, two things that are so profoundly important to our community. So I'm just I'm honored to have known the man and to have him be a part of my life, and I hope to do everything I can to live up to his expectations and continue to make him proud.
We got big shoes to fill here in Methuen. We got a big legacy that's left behind, and from the bottom of my heart, and I know from the bottom of a lot of Methuen residents' heart, thank you, Neil Perry, Mayor, for all you've done for us. It won't be forgotten.
Laying a loved one to rest is one of the hardest parts of saying goodbye. Funeral services were held at St. Monica's Church, where Mayor Perry had been a parishioner. For such a large house of worship, there were few seats to be found when the Mass began.
In the waters of baptism, Neil died with Christ and rose with him to new life. May he now share with him eternal glory.
While traditional readings and prayers were the basis for the funeral, there was also moments of reflection from those who knew the man as well as the mayor.
The last thing I'd like to tell you more than anything. Every day, Neil carried an immense amount of love in his heart for his 4 children, his brother Bill, and all of his family. Love for his city and its residents, love and appreciation for his City Hall staff. He consistently thanked them for the work they did in promoting the goals he and his team had set to move Methuen forward, to act with integrity, leadership, and vision. Well done, Mr. Mayor.
Neil loved to talk about lessons that he learned from his father, Billy Perry, or Papa to us, who passed away in '96 at the age of 65. One of Papa's lessons that our dad felt was most true to his heart was, you only have 2 things in life, your name and your word. I've always been proud to bear the name Perry, but never more so than over the last 5 years, watching my dad make a difference to his community. It's clear that our name means something positive to everyone in this room, whether it be beloved colleague, inspiring leader, compassionate friend, or loving father. I can speak on behalf of Papa and the Perry clan when I say that Dad brought pride to our family name.
As a child, I endured many asthma attacks. One night, I woke up from a nightmare, feeling like I couldn't breathe, and ran downstairs. My dad took me into his arms, comforted me, and caressed my head until I began to breathe normally again. Eventually, I fell asleep beside him on the couch. And he probably doesn't have any memory of that. It was just one of a million that he did stuff like that stuck with me my whole life. For decades later, in fact, in times of crisis, I think back to that moment, recall how it felt to be in his presence, and use that feeling to ground myself.
I also hope to have my own kids, and it pains me more than anything that rather than them experiencing all this, they'll have to settle for the words that can never do anyone justice. You would have loved your grandfather. But his legacy will stay with us all. He excelled at showing us how to be a parent, how to be a son, how to be a brother, how to dedicate yourself to a higher purpose, like your community and your history. I hope one day I mean as much to my family as my father meant to me.
In peace, let us take our brother to his place of rest.
Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder.
The procession from church to cemetery took a circuitous route throughout the city, taking in areas and landmarks which held special memories or meanings for the mayor. It also gave opportunities for those on duty covering the city to pay their last respects.
I go throughout the universe display, then sings my song, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
With the procession ending at Elmwood Cemetery, the mayor was taken to his final resting place with his family. Within the gates and walls of Elmwood, Mayor Neil P. Perry, lifelong city resident, will forever continue to call Methuen home. One of Mayor Perry's final achievements was the city's acquisition of the Searles Estate, former home of the Presentation of Mary Sisters. In July, it was announced that, pending City Council approval, Methuen would acquire 19 acres of the residence and estate of Edward Searles for $3.25 million, nearly $7 million less than its value. The August 5th council meeting did not end in favor of the purchase. The decision to pass on the purchase found much pushback from the community as a whole. Petitions for both sides were circulated, and after much discussion and bylaw waivers, the topic was revisited at the September 4th meeting, with the vote this time approving the acquisition.
On TR 2452.
Councilor Beauregard's out of the room. Councilor Campagnolo.
Yes.
Councilor DeZoglio.
Yes.
Councilor Marsan.
Yes.
Councilor Pesh.
Yes.
Councilor Safi.
Yes.
Councilor Soto.
Yes.
Councilor Valley.
Yes.
And Chair Ferretra.
Yes.
8 years.
Unanimous. All right.
Mayor Perry's three-pronged plan for the historic acreage will most likely serve as a building block as the city goes forward with the purchase. This is a grand accomplishment to create an unforgettable legacy. Mayor Perry's dedication to the city was unwavering, but his sense of humor was just as important to him. Caroline Russo has a look at the funny bone that made him, him.
Running a city of 53,000 people is a serious task, but even with the weight of the city on his shoulders, Mayor Perry never forgot his sense of humor. Here's a look back at just a few of our favorite laughs.
Well, hello, Methuen. Here's your long-lost mayor, shall I say that? And I want to start with a slide that says, I'm back, baby.
So nice. Let's start with the nice list. We got Guinness time. Nice is Ryan Hamilton because he does a nice job of emptying pints of Guinness at the Irish Cottage. You can tell somebody's edited the charts because I put naughty for Ryan. It's naughty because after 2 years, MCS has yet to be able to find a good side for me on the camera. I don't know that there is one, right, Sandy? I don't know. There are no good sides. You know, some people, fans like to say I got a square head, and maybe some truth to that. But there you go. There's an unflattering side right there, right? I'm looking at
The Senior Center is doing the chorus, the Red Hearts chorus is going to be December 8th for Christmas.
I'm not dancing this time.
I heard that you and Tim Sheehy are dressing up as elves. That's what I was just told.
Well, I was just notified of that myself. I don't know how pleased I am about it, but...
I told Chief Sheehy that I would willingly contribute to the costumes for the two of you, so...
And have you seen the man's wardrobe? Last week he was wearing a purple suit,
$100
with cranberry shoes, a white shirt, and a green tie. It looked like Bull from Night Court mugged the Joker and stole his friggin' clothes. Look at that guy. Look at him. The giant head, the long arms, the awkward walk. I mean, look at this monster, will you? Forget cutting the budget. I want to know how you got those bolts cut off your neck. Cardi's laughing.
I hope my socks were drippy enough for you.
Yeah, I like it. I say the drippiest mayor. He's got some great coats and great suits. Every time you come to an event, you've got the He had purple with almost like a blue striping once, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
And I reposted it. They say call him the drippiest mayor around. And then I got a message from somebody else.
So I saw that, and somebody sent me, what you posted, and I was like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is that good or bad?
Pass through the 7 levels of the candy cane forest, cross the sea of swirly, twirly gumdrops, then cross something called the loop connector.
Where did you say you came from?
The North Pole. Papa Elf sent me.
Oh my God.
Ooh, candy.
Now we've got a big blue towel.
Oh wow!
In case you wanna.
You're gonna be all set at the lake.
Yeah. I'm gonna be all decked out.
Put this over you.
And you're gonna you don't have to open your eyes on the water anymore.
You're gonna need some goggles in case you're going underwater.
That's terrific. That is terrific.
And
Thank
our
you.
ducky.
Big blue duck.
I'll use
Our
that
big
tonight
blue
when I take
ducky.
my bath.
There you go. So you're
So I'll hear that from the boys tomorrow. They'll be saying, "Oh, you threw us under the bus, Mayor, on TV." Yes, I did. The bus went over you forwards and backwards. I'm backing up in case you don't see that.
While Mayor Perry will be missed, the city still needs to have someone at the controls. Upcoming national elections will now be a portion of Methuen's political calendar, along with local ones. Caroline Russo has our story.
Election Day is officially November 5th, but voters don't have to wait until then to cast their ballots. Methuen will be holding early voting beginning on October 19th and will continue through November 1st. All precincts will vote at Sanborn Hall during the early voting time frame. Mail-in ballots will again be an option this year and has grown in popularity among Methuen voters.
It was introduced during the pandemic. People voted by mail for obvious reasons, and the state of Massachusetts now kept it going. You can vote by mail. The majority of the people in Methuen are now voting by mail. We got thousands of ballots for the primary. I can't even imagine how many we're going to get for the presidential, but it has taken off. It's very easy. You get your ballots mailed to you. You get with the return envelope back. You can either mail it back, drop it off in our drop-off box. I don't know if people know that we have a drop-off box right outside of City Hall that you can put the ballot in. You can walk it up into the clerk's office.
If you aren't yet a registered voter, you may still have time to register for this election cycle.
The voter registration deadline, so the last day to register to vote, if you want to vote November 5th, would be October 19th. October 19th is the deadline. So you can either register to vote online, which is a lot of people do it that way now. You can come into City Hall to register. You can call our office. We'll send you a form, but you have to register by 5 o'clock deadline on Saturday, October 19th, to be eligible to vote on November 5th.
If you'd rather stick with tradition, polling locations will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day, November 5th. If you aren't sure of your precinct or polling location, visit wheredoivote.ma.com.
We vote in 4 different locations in the city. The 3 schools, the Timony, the Tenney, and the Marsh. And the last voting location is at the Senior Center. So depending upon what precinct you're in, you can call, it's on our website, or you can call City Hall and find out if you're not sure. At the Tenney, it's precincts 3, 7, 9, 12, 13, and 13A. That's at the Tenney Grammar School. At the Timony Grammar School is precincts 1, 2, 6, 6A, 10, and 14. And then at the Marsh Grammar School are precincts 8, 11, and 15. And at the Senior Center, it's precincts 4 or 5.
While the nation is focused on the presidential election, sadly, Methuen will have an additional election to focus on this year. Due to the untimely passing of Mayor Neil Perry, the city will need to hold a special election to finish out his term.
Because Mayor Perry passed in the first year of his term, a special election is required. The purpose tonight is to announce that there will in fact be a call of the election, and that will be at the meeting of October 7th, 2024, when this body meets at its next regularly scheduled meeting. The election will then lead to a victor, and that victor will serve the remaining portion of the current mayoral term. There is a state law that requires a minimum 64-day period between when the body orders the election to occur on a date certain and the election itself.
As I know some people were looking to have it at the end of October, it's just will never happen. Not with the presidential, that's November 5th. December 10th gives us a little bit more time after the election of November 5th. We then have to certify the election, which takes at least a week after that. And then we're going to be preparing for this election, and it's going to be a big team effort to get it all done. And I think the December timeframe is more realistic.
Acting Mayor DJ Beauregard will be seated at the mayor's desk until a new mayor is officially sworn in.
I have stepped into big shoes, very big shoes. I will not try to be Mayor Perry. However, I assure you and the entire community that I am committed to two things now: continuity and stability. I will do all that I can to live up to Mayor Perry's example and continue his legacy by making decisions that are in the best interests of the people of Methuen, always.
Reporting from Methuen Now, I'm Carol Ann Russo.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Methuen Now. Along with all of the Methuen Community Studios staff, board, and volunteers, we would like to thank Mayor Perry for his dedication to Methuen and offer our condolences to his family and friends. He never taped an episode of Mayor's Minutes without a diet ginger ale, so here's to you, Mr. Mayor.
Are you feeling stressed about paying your bills? As life begins to return to normal, the city is committed to helping all Methuen residents connect to resources to help keep your costs at home low. A little bit of money saved can go a long way towards helping us all recover from this challenging past year. Renters, homeowners, and landlords with buildings of 1 to 4 units can request a no-cost Mass Save home energy assessment.
If you rent, you can get things that save money and energy immediately, like programmable thermostats and water-saving shower heads, all at no cost.
Building owners, you may be able to take advantage of money-saving incentives. Eversource and National Grid offer rebates on efficiency upgrades like heating and cooling systems and Energy Star appliances.
What are the benefits of these programs? They save you money. Getting a no-cost home energy assessment can help you immediately start saving money on your monthly electricity and gas bills by reducing your energy use, whether you rent or own.
They make your home more comfortable. A programmable thermostat can help you take control of your home's temperature, keeping you warmer in the winter during the times you need it most, while keeping your costs low.
Insulation in your walls and attic makes your home warmer in the winter and cooler in the summer. For a limited time, Eversource and National Grid, the sponsors of Mass Save, are offering owners of 1 to 4 unit residential buildings 100% off the cost of all approved installation for all rental units.
They make your home healthier. Insulation combined with no-cost air sealing can help keep pollen and other allergens out while reducing noise levels in the building, making your home a healthier place for you to live. During a no-cost home energy assessment, the energy specialist screens for combustion safety concerns, such as carbon monoxide, drafts, and spillage.
You may qualify for greater energy and cost-saving benefits through the nonprofit Greater Lawrence Community Action Council, based on your income or your tenant's income if you own a building. They can help you fix or replace faulty heating systems, insulate your home, and replace inefficient, energy-wasting appliances, all at no cost to you or your tenants. GLCAC also offers fuel assistance to help eligible households pay for a portion of their winter heating bills.
You could take action today. The City of Methuen is partnered with the nonprofit All in Energy to help residents get access to these valuable programs. Learn more and sign up for these benefits at MethuenSaves.org or by calling 978-237-4530. Join us in taking control of your energy bills today.